issue. Senator Cherargei, who purports to love the president, should listen in when we are making our comments on this speech. It's very, very important. Honorable Speaker.
Senator Cherargei, what is your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, you know 105 on responsibility of facts. Is it in order for Senator and temporary Speaker of the House to state that another senator can cause chaos in the House? Mr. Speaker, sir, can she use parliamentary? Is it in order for a temporary Speaker to call out a senior ranking member of the House by saying, Mr. Speaker, that I can cause chaos in the House? Is it in order? Could she use a better language, or she is excused from when she's on the seat and when she's speaking? Mr. Speaker, can you rule out of order?
Senator Mumma, can you use parliamentary word when referring to senior members of this House?
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I hope the senior members, the ranking members, will not disrupt debate in the House. Honorable Speaker, the State of the Nation speech. Honorable Speaker, I hope my time is being saved.
Senator Kinyo, what's your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, I'm standing on standing order number 105. Mr. Speaker, I listened to Senator Mumma saying that Senator Cherargei, who pretends to love the president, should sit in and listen. So I'm wondering, how does she know that she loves the president or not, Mr. Speaker? Should substantiate that, Mr. Speaker.
Honorable Speaker, I didn't say pretends, I said purports. So I'm sure it is up to him to tell the House whether he loves the president or not. I would know, I have no way of telling that. Honorable Speaker, can I proceed? Honorable Speaker.
Order, Senator. The Senator will be heard in silence.
Honorable Speaker, the State of the Nation address is a constitutional requirement.
Senator Cherargei, what is your point of order? We need to leave Senator Mumma to...
I hope you're saving my time, please.
Stop her time,
Mr.
please.
Speaker, you know the procedures of the House we must stick to. When the Speaker orders you to withdraw and apologize, the good senator has not, she has just continued making others. I would have expected her to request that the word chaotic should be struck out from the answer. That is the fair process of...
Very well, Senator.
Yes, that is what I'm requesting. It's not a very hard thing I'm requesting, so that it does not reflect on the answer. Mr. Speaker, and for the purpose of record, I love the president more than Jesus Christ. So you don't need to get worried.
Honorable Speaker, I would want to withdraw the word chaos, causing chaos, and replace with the word disrupting the House.
Very well.
Which I did. Honorable Speaker, the State of the Nation address is a constitutional requirement on accountability by the presidency to the people of Kenya on how the government of the day is carrying out its responsibilities in relation to the people of Kenya. Mr. Speaker, particularly how the government is ensuring that the values and principles provided for in Article 10 are being taken care of. Mr. Speaker, in paragraphs 9 and 10 of the President's speech, he reiterates this responsibility. In Article 9, he said the transformation of our economy is not only desirable and important, but it is also necessary and an urgent. And the people of Kenya have made this clear at every opportunity. And he continued to say, our duty as leaders is to listen keenly and comply with the people's wishes. Mr. Speaker, how I wish that he would lead by example, by listening to what the people of Kenya are saying at this time. I would have hoped that the president, at the time he was reading the speech, would have listened to the cries of Kenyans about the cost of living in this country. Honorable Speaker, in Article 10, he made reference to the citizens' freedoms and fundamental rights. He did not speak to the whole stretch of it, but we know that the entire of Chapter 4 guarantees certain rights to the citizens of Kenya. Honorable Speaker, among these rights are the basic rights to ensure that people live in dignity. Mr. Speaker, the state of the nation is that many families are not able to make ends meet. The state of the nation is that many families are not able to educate their children anymore because levies have been put on since this government came in place that have made it difficult for many families to afford tertiary education, to afford secondary education, to afford primary education. Mr. Speaker, the state of the nation at the time we spoke is that we have rogue departments that have decided to levy taxes left, right, center that are making the poor poorer and stressing those who are doing business in Kenya. Mr. Speaker, to increase the charges on a birth certificate, on an identity card, on marriage certificate, on death certificate, on acquiring of a passport, on reclaiming citizenship for Kenyans who are born abroad, on Kenyans who are on goods of Kenyans who are coming in, including second-hand goods that people are coming in with from abroad. Mr. Speaker, that is where the state of the nation is. Kenyans are being taxed left, right, center, whether they are dead or alive, whether they are in the womb or in hospital. That is the state of the nation, Mr. Speaker. I would have loved to hear the president pronounce himself on this issue, particularly on why the Department of Immigration has decided to, without following due process, levy charges on fundamental rights. Mr. Speaker, access to the ID is a fundamental right. Paying 2,000 for an ID will make the difference as to whether a child will go to university or not. Our children are finishing Form 4. Many of them will need to acquire IDs. Many of them will require those IDs before they get help. What this government has done is to say that if you come from a poor family, forget about university education. Mr. Speaker, that is the state of this nation. Mr. Speaker, many businesses are closing. Many businesses are crossing over to Tanzania because they cannot afford the taxes in Kenya. That is the state of this nation. And I would hope that those close to the president, the friends, and others will allow him to actually get in touch with the people to understand what is going on in order for him to truly understand what the state of the nation is and do something about the impact of his taxation policies on this nation. Mr. Speaker,
Senator Cherargei, what is your point of order?
Mr. Speaker, I raise understanding order number 98, standing order 103, 105, in responsibility of statement of fact. You know, even if this is a debate about the presidential speech, it is very unfortunate, but the senator has stated that Kenyans who want to go to university should forget it, because she is alleging that on the issue of school payment in the universities. Yet she is fully aware that the university model or the university payment model is being reviewed. Is it in order to allege that the government is not allowing people to go to university simply because they do not have money? Yet Higher Education's Loan Board, like 2 weeks ago, Mr. Speaker, sir, money was released for students who are ongoing in various universities. Is it in order as a responsibility? And number two, she has alleged that businesses are crossing to Tanzania. Does she have the facts to clarify our assertion, Mr. Speaker? Even if there is to substantiate, even if you are debating on the presidential speech, it does not mean that you use the floor of the House to mustering the government. I know it's the work of the opposition to do it, but they should do it constructively and with facts. Mr. Speaker, is she in order?
Senator Mumma, on those two issues, are you able to substantiate on what you have said?
Mr. Speaker, please give me time. I will actually bring information that is actually should be within access of Senator Cherargei.
How much time do you need, Senator Mumma?
Within this week, I will actually submit that. I'll be able to submit
on the issue
the
of
fees. Yes, on the university, the fee structure. I'll actually, and I'm calling on all Kenyans out there
very well,
who have not been able to attend, to bring that list, because you want to trivialize this, so that we can give you the names of the many children who are not attending university because they don't have money. We will actually bring that list. And I'm asking Kenyans out there, please bring the names. I know some. I will bring that information, if that is the way you want us to go. I thought it is common knowledge that fees have gone high in the universities, but I'll bring it if that is what you want me to do. Mr. Speaker, the issues I'm speaking to is not because I'm opposition. Unfortunately, even children of those who voted for the president are facing the same fate. Unfortunately, families of Kenyans across board, regardless of who they voted for, regardless of their gender, regardless of their tribe, are suffering the same fate of the high cost of living. Mr. Speaker, that is the state of the nation. And it is important that we tell the president the truth, so that the president can pause and review and think through. Can we keep moving forward on the basis that this country should actually be driven by the rich as we leave the poor behind? Can we even afford that? This is a government that purportedly stands for the poor. It must be able to lift the poor. All I'm saying, I did not hear the president speak to these issues. I would have liked to see the president speak to these issues, because, Mr. Speaker, that is the state of the nation. We are not in a good place. I thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Thank you. Senator Kinyua.